Hello, everybody, and thank you for joining me. This is Ciara from Ciara T Designs, and today I have my April bullet journal to share with you. So let's jump right in. So as always, I like to start by drawing out the calendar. I like to make my calendar 6x6. So those little squares, they're all 6x6 dot grid squares, or dot grids, I guess. And I like to do kind of like a skippy line when I draw them. Don't ask me why. It's just kind of fun. I like that it's like a little bit of added texture. And I do tend towards a calendar that's mostly on one side of the page. So in this case, you can see that the majority of the calendar is on the left-hand page, and that leaves me decoration for the right side. I don't go heavy into decoration in anything but my cover page, really, because for the most part, this needs to be very functional for me, but I also really want it to be aesthetically pleasing. So because of that, I kind of do a really heavily decorated cover spread, and then the decorations kind of peter out throughout the rest of my setups, just because I need the space for actual organization more than anything. I work for myself, I have my small business, and I have my channel, and I have, a bunch of stuff going on, markets and custom orders and all that stuff. So I have to be really organized and stay really on top of it. So because of that, I don't tend towards a ton of decoration space anywhere else but the cover page. So then that means that I usually go a bit crazy on the cover page because it is the majority of my decoration space, right? So I get a little excited, but I had so much fun with this setup. I brought out, this is a Ciao Bella set. It's called Timeless Moments, and I have one of the rice papers here, one of the large, I think this is an A4 sized rice paper, and I used water to cut it, other than you did see me cut off the top of the white border with my trimmer. That was just because I wanted that to be a straight edge. Everything else is going to be used the way I'm doing it right here. Even when I bring it in later, I'm not going to show you this again outside of this part right here, but the water helps break up the fibers of the rice paper, allowing it to be torn and giving you this really pretty kind of jagged edge. I don't know how to explain it. You guys can see it happening because I'm doing it right now, but you can see that I brought in the water and I kind of lay it out around where I need it to fit in my calendar. And then I'm going to rip around that, creating this really pretty edge. And I love how it looks. I did end up going later and cutting a little bit of it off that was hanging outside of the page kind of drastically. It's a little bit of the top piece there. You won't see me do it, but that's what I did. And I only used this one rice paper for the cover. I'm going to use a different rice paper inside the journal. But you could, of course, use pattern paper. I've done that before. I have been loving using rice paper, though. It's just a lot lighter, so it doesn't quite add as much bulk to my pages. I am hoping to fit all of 25 in this journal. We'll see. It depends on how many pages I use for every spread. It's going to be a really close thing, I think. But yeah, I chose to use rice paper this time simply because I just love how it looks, and I love that it doesn't add much bulk to my page. But you guys have seen me use pattern paper multiple times in multiple setups. So there's no right or wrong way to go about this. And I'm going to bring in my rice paper glue by Stamperia. I've been loving this stuff. It doesn't seem to have much water in it, so it doesn't wrinkle things. It dries completely matte. Like, there's no sheen to it once it's dry at all, which I love, because I don't really want the background to be the scene stealer. I really want what I'm adding on top to kind of catch your eye, and I find that shiny things generally tend at least to catch my eye faster than everything else. So I love that this glue dries completely matte. You can't see it at all. And I'm going to use the glue on the top and underneath. So you're going to see me glue it to the page. And then I'm going to use the glue on top to seal it as well, just because I have all those fibers hanging around. So I did use it to seal the rice paper down to the page as well as kind of seal the rice paper. So that's why you're going to see me use it on top and underneath the rice paper. And I just layered it up. Again, you don't add much bulk with the rice paper because it's so thin that it just creates this beautiful background page that I think it's stunning. And this paper collection is just stunning. Throughout the setup, I'm going to use the Timeless Moments 8x8. I used this rice paper. I'm going to use the A5 rice papers as well for different pages. And then I did also bring in some of the cut aparts. You'll see me fussy cut one here in a little bit. And then of course, because my stickers are now officially in my shop, I went ham. I used so many of my own stickers in this, and I had so much fun doing it. So here, these are my mini days of the week sticker set. And you get multiple different types of stickers. And then this is my large days of the week stamp 6 sticker set. And then this comes in an ombre colorway. This one happens to be like a B grade. My cutter dragged across the numbers. So you're going to see here, like the 6 is cut in half. It doesn't matter for me. Obviously, if you purchased one, it wouldn't be like that. But because if some of them have some errors or whatever, I just keep them for myself. Or if they're errors that are super minute, I'll set them aside and I'm going to do like oopsie bags later when I have more sheets to put them in them, and then they'll be like highly discounted, but they'll have minute errors. Like they might be slightly off cut, or they might, maybe the colors weren't correct or that kind of thing. So that will happen, later in my shop. But this is the Serif, the classic Serif set of days of the week, and I'm going to use the script set in the actual daily, like the weekly pages when we get there. And then this is from the 8x8 paper. I'm going to fussy cut out this set of teacups. If you guys have been with me for any length of time, you know that I love tea. I don't drink coffee. I've never acquired the taste for it. But I love tea. So I love anything tea related. So this paper pad just really spoke to me. It's in a stunning colorway. If you guys know, I love pink. I love most vibrant colors, actually, to be honest. I love butterflies. I love tea. I love flowers. So this paper collection just really spoke to me, and I hope it's still available for you guys. It came out in January, so it should be still available, but I always link and list everything I've used in the description, so you can always go check it out if that's something of interest to you. And then I'm going to bring in my large months of the year sticker sheet. This is another favorite of mine. I actually have 2 variations of this. I have the large one and a mini one, just depending on how you want it to kind of be laid out in your journal. I've been using the large ones, and you guys will see multiple of my cats pop in throughout this video. Right here, this is Aqua. Mist was in a little earlier, and I believe Azure is going to show up here in a little bit as well. They all kind of kept popping in and out. And luckily, my April header has not really adhered quite well at this time, so I was able to just gently lift it up, and I really wanted a little more of a cluster kind of down in the bottom right corner instead. That just, I don't know, it just looked better to my eye than having April where I had originally put it. And then, of course, I am going to adhere just the center of the butterflies, allowing their wings to move. It's in a journal, so they're not going to move much, but it just gives me that freedom of movement that I really appreciate. And because it's me, and because you guys know I love all the things that glitter, I'm going to add some sparkles. Now, because I have all the sticker sheets, I'm going to pull sparkles from each one of them because I can, and because they're all different sizes, because that's how I do. I made my sticker sheets to have the biggest amount of stickers I could add on the sheet. So because of that, I do have to use tweezers because they're not easy to get off the backing. Like they are, but it's hard to describe because my nails are quite long. It's just easier for me to use tweezers to get the stickers off. So you saw me use the sparkles in it was the mini days of the week set, and then you saw me use the sparkles from the script or the like ombre days of the week set. And then now this is my really, really cute tiny sparkle sheets. They are jammed packed with all the sparkles, as many sparkles as I could fit on the sheet. And they're in that matching ombre colorway. So they go perfectly with the ombre days of the week. So because each one of the colorways matches the colors that are in those sheets. And I love it. I don't know. I really like sparkles. I think that they just add a little something extra to a project or a page or whatever you're using them on. So I like to use them on envelopes as well when I send pen pal letters and that kind of thing. So They were like one of my favorite things to make when I was doing these sticker sheets. And then of course this is me, so I did bring in just a little bit of bling in the center of the butterflies. I added these just tiny gems from Spellbinders because I can't not add a little bit of bling. And my cover page is like the place that I get to add everything, right? And this is all for me, so it doesn't really matter, if you don't like it, that's perfectly okay, because it's my journal and I get to write in it. So, if it's not to your taste, maybe pink isn't your color, maybe you would have preferred this in blue or green or whatever, you could do, right? Like I have in my stickers, I have all of the colors of the rainbow. So you can absolutely grab all and any that you would like to. And then here I'm just drawing out, this is a spread that I've had in my bullet journal now for a while. This is I do meals on the left hand side and I do content and tasks on the right hand side. Meals I like to have in my journal because I do meal planning. I do a grocery shop once a week because my husband loves to cook. He loves to cook. So he likes to have fresh in the house, and we eat a lot of vegetables. So to keep them, from having to be frozen, I do a weekly grocery shop. So because of that, I like to plan out my meals so that I have a good idea of what's needed, so that I'm not wasting anything, because you guys know food can be a bit pricey. So I do my meals tracker just to keep an eye on what we're eating. So like if I know we're going to buy a head of lettuce, say, I know that maybe that week we'll do BLTs, we'll do tacos, we'll do like a wedge salad with chicken or something, so that I know that whole head of lettuce is going to be used and I don't need to throw anything out. I try really hard not to waste food, especially. It's just one of my things. I try really hard not to do that. So I try to plan out my meal. So that meal planner just makes that way easier for me, because then I can keep an eye on, what's coming in, what needs to be used, and cook our meals according to that. So, and just so you know, I also make bread. So I know, like, if we're going to do BLTs, say for dinner one night, I will make homemade sourdough bread that day, so that, I have a heads up so I can plan for it. So like, I know that day I need X hours to make my bread. So it's just easier for me to keep an eye on that. That's why I do a meals planner. Of course, you could change that into anything that would be more useful to you. That's just what really works for me. And then of course, the tasks and content. Content is where I plan out all of my videos. So everything that's going up onto YouTube that month, I plan it out in that space so that I can see what's upcoming. I can plan out what we're doing for the lives, have a general idea. That kind of thing. It's just very specific to my needs, because of course this is my journal, so I get to do that. And you did see that I made some mistakes on my lines. Not a problem. I bring in my white gel pen and I just use that to clean up any mistakes that I've made with my black lines. I mean, generally I kind of cover them with decoration, so you wouldn't see them anyways, but I do tend to clean them up with my white gel pen just in case you can see them, so that they are nice and clean. And then these pieces were from the cut aparts. So same color or same paper pad, but the cut aparts instead of the rice paper or the 8x8. I also bought the 12x12 because I wasn't totally sure what I wanted to use, and I'll probably use it in a Happy Mail or something instead, because it is a stunning collection. So I will have to bust it out and use it more. And then these are my alphabet stickers. These are the pink ones that match the lightest color of the Ombre sticker sheets. So you see my Ombre sticker sheets are done in 5 colors because there's 5 weeks in the month. And then anything that's a solid color matches the Ombre sheet. It will be whatever the lightest color of the Ombre sheet is. So they all coordinate really well together. So it doesn't matter what you want to use. And then they look good together, because then all of the lighter sheets are kind of in a pastel colorway. So they just look really pretty together. So you can't go wrong if you like stickers as much as me, and you like, you could use these for bullet journaling. You can use them for journaling. You can use them for pen pal letters. You can use them for art journaling. There's so many ways you could use these stickers. They don't have to specifically be for journaling, although that is what I use them for predominantly, but completely up to you. And luckily I've had some orders, and I cannot wait to see how my people that have ordered use them. I'm so excited to see my stickers in the wild. Like, I can't even express how excited that makes me, because I've been developing these products for months, so to have them actually out there now is just incredibly exciting. So thank you so much if you've placed an order with me. I cannot say how much I appreciate you, and I cannot wait to see what you do with my stickers. It's so exciting. So this is a new spread for me. April has 30 days. So I've there's 30 boxes on these 2 pages. I am going to use this as a daily gratitude, daily doodle, daily, that kind of thing. If you guys have been with me for a while, you know that I'm trying to make drawing a daily habit. And I'm struggling a bit to do that because I have so many things to do, and I'm struggling to make it a priority. So because of that, I thought that if maybe I had this small square in my journal, and all I had to do was pop in every day, because I pop in my journal every day anyway, because I write daily task lists and stuff, right? So I'm in my journal every day anyways. I thought this would be a really fun way to, just doodle or maybe journal a little bit, or I don't know how exactly I'm going to use it, but that is the idea of it. So I'm going to kind of we're going to see how it goes. So right now it's just, 30 pencil boxes, because I didn't want to limit myself to that shape. Maybe I need a little more one day, maybe I need a little less one day, so it's going to end up being a bit different, but that gives me the 30 days that I can kind of work with. And then we're going to jump into the weeklies. So April falls across 5 weeks. I like to keep my weeks together. If you guys have been with me for a while, you know that I start my week on a Sunday, just because it makes the most sense to me, because that's how the Canadian calendar falls. And also because my husband's days off are Sunday, Mondays, I like to keep Sunday and Monday together because, I take, not that I really take a day off, but when he is off work, I try to take that as my day off as well so that I can spend time with him. So because of that, I keep my weeks to be, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and I've seen a lot of people change theirs to start on the Monday, which makes sense because then you keep your weekend together. But in my opinion, I am keeping my weekend together, right? So here is more of that rice paper, the same one I put on that content page. This is it's from the A5 rice paper, so it is quite a bit smaller than the large, I think it was an A4 sized one that I used first, but I love this pattern, and I love this pattern so much, I'm not even going to add more decorations on it. I'm just going to leave this pattern because I think there's enough. As I said before, I don't add much decoration outside of the cover page, so because of that, you could, of course, have added some on this. It would have looked great. I opted not to. I left it like this because I thought it was so pretty. And because of what I do with my dailies in this set, I just didn't feel like I needed it. Now, I made a mistake here. I put my line one line ahead of where it's supposed to be. So I brought in my white gel pen. I fixed it, and then I drew the line where it's supposed to be. So the idea of this is that you're creating 6 boxes, like long rectangle boxes. And I'm going to put a line through the center of the first one, which will give me Sunday and Monday, because I do less things on Sundays and Mondays as a general rule. And then that gives me the whole rest of the week to work with in a longer list-esque form. That was hard to say. So then I can kind of list out everything I want to achieve that day and then kind of go from there. So hopefully that makes sense. I do all of my weeklies the same. I know that some people change them up and, do every weekly a little different, so they have a little variation. I'm a very cohesive person. I like my my weeklies to be cohesive. So my weeks are all the exact same after you see this. I don't change anything about them, and you'll see that in the flip through. But yeah, so I created 6 long rectangles, and then I cut the first one in half for my weeklies. And then this is where I'm going to bring in my script days of the week in ombre pink. And I don't know, it looked so pretty. And then of course I did bring in a Tombow marker to just mark every second page, or every second line, sorry. Here is Azure. He's come in to just check out what's going on. I actually call him Az most of the time, but his official name is Azure because we have Aqua and Azure. You can say Azure or Azure, it's the same thing. And there I hit the camera on my phone and it did something weird there, but yeah, so I brought in this Tombow just to mark every second line, which you saw me do in the last spread as well. I just like that little bit of pop of color. I think that it helps me differentiate where I need to write, and it looks pretty. And this, I believe, was Carnation is the name of this color. It is 761 in the Tombow dual brush pen colors. So I would have used pink. I have a pale pink marker, but it died. So it was just a little bit more pink and a little less, like this is a little bit peachy. Or maybe corally is a better word. It's a little less of the pink I was going for, but that's okay. It's still super pretty. And yeah, sadly, my pink marker, it died, and I have not gotten my hands on a new one. I haven't found somebody who sells Tombows in singles. Michael's doesn't sell them anymore, apparently, because I went to try to find the pink one and they don't have it. So, and then Amazon just sells them in sets. So I guess I'll have to order it online from somewhere, but yeah, so I just did that on all the pages. And then all I really have left is to add my days of the week in. So that'll be pretty exciting. So I don't know. I love this spread. I'd have to say this is probably my favorite spread of the year so far. And I know we're only a few months in, so that may drastically change as we go. But so far, I am really excited to use this month for the doodle part, and because I love how it turned out, and just to try this kind of rectangle weekly instead of, I usually go for, I mean, it's still a rectangle, but I usually go for a more like landscape-esque look. I mean, you guys would have seen that if you've looked at my last videos. But this just turned out really fun, and I'm really excited about it. So here I brought in, like I said, my script days of the week, and I'm just going to use those to go across the week. And then I will bring in the numbers as well. I'm going to bring in the last two numbers from March for the first 2 days, because if you noticed, I like to lay my months out so that the week starts on Sunday. So whatever week has more days of it in whatever month it was. So March, it had 2 days, right? And then of course April had the other ones. So I ended up putting them that week into April instead of into March, just because I like how that looks. There's no right or wrong here. When I started last year's journal, I repeated the week, and then I decided that was just not necessary. But here you can see I took 30 and 31 out of the days of the week that I used for March. So I just pulled those last two and then added them in here. So they are a different color. And if I had known what color I was going to do May, the problem is that I don't know what I'm going to use until we get closer to when I go to work on my journal. So otherwise I would have used that colorway for May at the end of this, because a couple of days of May are going to be in this as well. So I didn't know, so I used the stickers that have no numbers on them, because I have a few of those in the circle stickers. So this is how it turned out, and I love it. I am incredibly excited to start using this. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this come together, and if you are going to pick up some of my stickers, thank you so much. If you have already bought some of my stickers, thank you so much. If you're a member on my channel, thank you so much. I just appreciate you guys so much, and it's hard to express how much your guys' support and you're just cheering me on in this journey. So I can't express how much I appreciate you guys. So that is what I have for you guys today. I hope you enjoyed it. Leave me a like, leave me a comment, and I will see you again very soon. Bye-bye for now.